Tell me something, my friends. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? Hi, everyone. Bill here, and welcome to entry number 3 of Burton Month. Today, I am super excited because we are talking about Batman. Batman, based on the comic by Bob Kane, and the third film by Tim Burton, released in 1989. So, the story, you all know it, but for the few who don't, I'm in a good mood today, so I'll tell you. So Bruce Wayne, played by Michael Keaton, as a child, witnessed his parents getting murdered, and he becomes Batman, the superhero who's fighting crime and keeping Gotham City safe. Then there's a mob boss, Jack Napier, played by Jack Nicholson, who one day with Batman, well, while he was fighting Batman, gets thrown into a pile of acid. His skin becomes bleached, and he becomes the Joker. The clown prince of crime himself. So whilst he's the Joker, he gets a gas and is trying to kill the city of Gotham, and Batman's got to stop him. Okay, so I am super excited to talk about this. I am a huge Batman fan. Ever since I was a little kid, I loved Batman. So let's talk about the good stuff, because there is a lot. First, okay, let's talk about one of the two things everybody talks about. Michael Keaton is Batman. Do I need to say anything less? I think he's amazing. What I like about Michael Keaton is he's intimidating, but he's subtle. It's not like Christian Bale in the Christopher Nolan movies when he tries to be intimidating. He does a voice like this. It's it's comical. Like everybody has made so many jokes about that damn voice. I'm not even going to touch that territory with a 10-foot pole because if I tell a joke about that, guarantee you've already heard it. The thing is, Michael Keaton has that. Christian Bale tries to be intimidating, while Michael Keaton just is intimidating. Like, it's one of the first scenes in the movie. One of these, criminals gets picked up by Batman, and he goes, "Please don't kill me!" And Keaton goes, "I'm not going to kill you, but I want you to do me a favor. Tell all your friends about me." "Who are you?" "I'm Batman." Like, that is just so great. He just has that intimidating presence. And he has that smile, like, "You don't scare me, your ass is grass." Um, Now let's talk about Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne, which I think he's a good Bruce Wayne. He's sort of like, I kind of do like Christian Bale a little bit better as Bruce Wayne, but I kind of see the concept here. While Christian Bale is just the trying to be the eccentric billionaire, what's about cars, parties, women, money. Michael Keaton is more of the quiet billionaire who, opens up his mansion for like fundraisers and stuff, but doesn't like flaunt the money. And he does act a little squirrely, which you're thinking, does he got something to hide? But on the other hand, you're thinking, never would have guessed he's Batman because he's so quiet. But I think he's just again, I think he's very subtle. And there's a scene that when he goes into the alley where his parents were killed and he puts two roses down, there's no tears, no background. It's just, again, very subtle. And I think Keaton pulls it off very well. Now let's talk about the other thing everybody loves to talk about. And this other thing actually got billing over Keaton. And I'm, of course, talking about Jack Nicholson's Joker. What I love Jack Nicholson as the Joker. I think he's the perfect Joker. Even though I do personally kind of like Heath Ledger a little more, I do really like Jack Nicholson's Joker. He, I remember an old teacher I had in high school said, I think Nicholson was the better Joker, but I think Ledger was the better villain, which I can see. Because Jack Nicholson's Joker was more of like the comic book type villain. Like he talks like a comic book villain. And just his one liners, of course, Dance with the Devil in the Pale Moonlight. And of course, that scene when we first meet him as the new Joker, and he goes to his boss, the crime boss, and he goes, Jack, maybe we can work something out. He goes, Jack, Jack is dead, my friend. From now on, you can call me Joker. And as you can see, I'm a lot happier. And my personal favorite line. Now, as I leave you all your miserable lives, but as my plastic surgeon says, if you're gonna go, go with a smile. He's just got those one-liners, and he is intimidating, but he's funny. He's like the perfect mix of sinister and evil, but he's also funny. And I think that's the Joker. Well, Heath Ledger, don't get me wrong, I loved Heath Ledger's Joker in The Dark Knight. But the thing is, Heath Ledger's Joker is more of like the psychopathic serial killer. Like, he talks like a psychopathic serial killer. While, again, Ledger talks more like a comic book villain. But I think not Ledger, Nicholson's Joker works better in this world. And I think he's just a badass. He's the perfect mix of evil but comedic. Another thing that I love is the music. In the opening credits, the score. This is probably Danny Elfman's best score. It just swells up the do 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 do, and then just goes dum 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 da 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 dum 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 dum. I love it. That is probably one of my absolute favorite film scores. Mm, it just packs like such a punch. And I think it's a big step up from Pee Wee and Beetlejuice. It's not that quirky, the doo 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 or the doo 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 doo. I think Danny Elfman just improved from that. And I just also love the atmosphere of this movie. How it does have its dark moments, but it does have its campy moments. And it's a nice balance of each other. It's not, too dark or too campy. It's just right in that middle ground, and I think it's just perfect. Now, some things that are not so perfect. I did not like Pat Hingle as Commissioner Gordon. Just in other adaptations, such as Gary Oldman in the Nolan movies and J.K. Simmons in Justice League, and even in the animated series, Commissioner Gordon is more proactive. This guy's just, he's too soft spoken. Like if someone like Pat Hingle's Commissioner Gordon, and listen, no offense to Pat Hingle, I'm sure he's probably a really nice guy, but if he was in charge, he would laugh her ass off. Like there's a scene when before Jack Napier gets dropped into the acid, one of his henchmen is pointing a gun at Gordon, and he's just standing there like this. He's like, "One move and I kill Gordon." And he's like, maybe your thought should be, "Holy shit, there's a fucking gun to my head." But just that this guy probably couldn't stop a shoplifter without Batman's help. He's that dependent on Batman. Also, another casting choice I didn't like. I didn't like Kim Basinger as Vicky Vale. She was just bland. Like there were times she could be charming, but she's just bland. She's kind of boring, and she's just basically Lois Lane in a blonde. She's Lois Lane as a blonde, and in the Batman universe. That's pretty much it. She's of all the Batman love interests, I think she's kind of bland, and I think she's kind of weak. Um, Another thing, this movie is kind of a little bit of a product of its time. Like there are like bats in the cage. They look like they're on strings. Like, come on. And like, look at these things. I don't think there are criticisms. Like, they are cheesy. The two Prince songs. I like Party Man. Trust is okay. The bat dance, I've only saw a clip of it. Looks cheesy as hell, but it's fine. It's just a little out there. But now here's something I will defend. Michael Goff as Alfred. A lot of people don't like him, but I will say for the Alfred they're going for, I think it works because there's different incarnations. This one was more the butler type. Michael Caine in the Nolan movies was more like the fatherly figure, and Jeremy Irons in Batman v Superman and Justice League was more of like the sidekick. I can see a little bit of those too. Like there's times you could see a bit of the father figure when he's telling Vicky Vale those embarrassing stories about Bruce when he was younger, and you see the times that he's talking about that he's helping Batman gets get files on Napier. Like that's a little bit of the sidekick part. Um, and okay, another thing I'm going to defend yet criticize. Okay, this is something that the comic book purists hate. Okay, I'm getting into a little bit into spoiler territory. So if you haven't seen this movie, skip to about here. The big complaint is that in the movie, the Joker killed Batman's parents, which in the comics didn't happen, and the purists hate that. When they watch this, they go, wait a minute, the Joker didn't kill Batman's parents. That was Joe Chill, as shown in Batman Begins. Um, my response to that is, it's an adaptation. Shit is going to change. Get over it. Though it's not pure to the comics, I think it works well for the story. Because he wants revenge. Batman wants revenge on Jack for killing his parents. So I think for that aspect, I think it works well. Okay. Okay. Give me 1 second. Now a lot of people consider this a landmark comic book movie. I do too, because this was the first one that started taking comic book movies seriously. The only visual adaptations we had of comic books was the Adam West Batman series and Christopher Reeve's Superman. And those are kind of campy and cheesy. And this started taking it seriously. It wasn't the pow, pow, bam, whop. It was being treated for adults. And I think that's why people like it so much. And I forgot to mention how this is such a big landmark film. Michael Keaton, who was cast as Batman, when it was first released that he was going to be Batman, fans were furious. Even Bob Kane was skeptical because he was in comedy movies. Like probably the darkest one he was in was Beetlejuice, that was released a year before. But once he got on screen, Batman cemented. And also, fun fact, also considered to play Batman was Harrison Ford, Bill Murray, Charlie Sheen, and Tom Selleck. And also with the Joker, the casting choices, Robin Williams actually really wanted to play the Joker. And also being considered was Tim Curry, which is actually interesting because in the Batman animated series, he was actually considered to voice the Joker until he was passed up from Mark Hamill. And get this, David Bowie was even considered to play the Joker. That would have been interesting. Now, there are a few fun facts you can impress your friends at parties with. So overall, as a Batman fan, I like this movie. I really do like this movie. And listen, it's like a comic book adaptation is like a different view of a story. How with A Christmas Carol, there's like 1,000 different adaptations. That's like with Batman. Some people prefer Burton movies. Some people prefer the Nolan movies. And there's a very few out there who prefer the Schumacher movies. And if you do, I'm not judging you. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But I will always have a special place in my heart for this movie. I loved it, and I'm sure a few viewings are not too far from my future, so I'm giving Batman, I'm probably being a little biased here, between a B plus and an A minus. All right, guys, have you seen Batman? Let me know your thoughts. Do you like Burton Batman better? Do you like Nolan Batman better? Shoot me in the comments down below and tell me your thoughts. And next time, I'm going to be reviewing one of my other favorite Tim Burton movies, Edward Scissorhands. All right, guys, take care.